All right, now let's take a look at different newspapers that we're having this morning. To set us off, we'll begin by Business Daily. And like I mentioned earlier, NSE rises above 4 trillion Kenyan shillings milestone for first time. This mark was noted yesterday, and it stood at 4.013 trillion at the close of trading yesterday. And of course, it gained 20.9 billion yesterday. So NSE is doing quite okay. This is after several things that transpired over the past several months that we've had, including the recent share of Pipeline Company, and of course the Family Bank that really rose the buying and selling of shares at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Something also that you need to note on the Business Daily is that Airtel Safaricom locked in business wallet price war, and this is after yesterday Airtel launched an app or an application that will allow their users to have separate accounts, just like Safaricom has Pochi la Biashara, where you can separate your funds and personal funds and business funds. The same thing is happening to Airtel. They have also developed the same, and of course this is currently the network providers are really competing right now. Airtel says that it's in partnership with X, with what is this that Elon Musk is in relation to Elon Musk. That name is gone, but it's in partnership with the same to ensure that Starlink, I got the name Starlink. So it's in partnership with that to ensure that network accessibility is very efficient even in the rural parts of the country. So that is a development with Airtel right now competing with Safaricom, of course, on the same line. Something else to note is that banks see CBK rate holding amid Middle East uncertainty. I think we are having peace in the country because the government is trying on that. Otherwise, we could be having really tough conversations about the dollar has risen over the shilling and all that, turned political, but I think we're cruising nicely. Something else to note is that Tuju's second current property is set for auction, and they're saying that a second prime property owned by former cabinet minister Raphael Tuju is set for auction, and the East African Development Bank steps up debt recovery. So that is something that you should also note that has been given prominence on the Business Daily. Moving forward, we have the Star. The Star talking of Kenya leads Africa in milk yield as meat exports rise by 87%. So that is a win for the Kenyan market. This is despite what is happening in the Middle East, who are our biggest buyers of meat products in the country. And despite all that is happening, Kenya is still leading with a rise of 87%. So that is commendable. In politics, they are talking of a threat to unity. Sifuna's political rise to upset opposition pecking order as polls draw near. That is in relation to politics, what is really happening in the country. I'll not talk more about that. We'll have more about that when we shall be talking of the state of the nation. And features that are given prominence on the Star, they are talking of from Dusty Village to Machakos, from Dusty Village in Machakos rather to PhD, Nzomo beats the odds. They're also talking of exclusive interview that they have where they're saying that chief anti-HIV campaigner sees clear path to vaccine and Kenya's role in it. Those are stories that are given prominence on the Star. Moving forward, gazeti la Taifa Leo wanazungumzia masuala ya siasa, yamepewa kipaumbele katika gazeti hilo. Wanasema kwamba Azimio yalenga Gachagua, na wanasema kwamba muungano wa Azimio la Umoja One Kenya umeanza mchakato wa kujijenga upya kuelekea uchaguzi mkuu wa mwaka 2027 kwa kuvikaribisha vyama vipya na kuanzisha mazungumzo na makundi ya kisiasa yanayoongozwa na aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua na seneta wa Nairobi Edwin Sifuna. Wanasema kwamba wakiongozwa na njia ya mtandao na rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta, viongozi hao walikubaliana kufanyia muungano huo mabadiliko makubwa. So a lot is happening in the opposition. The cloud is gathering, preparing for a grand coalition. But I don't know if you're reading too much into this, but critics say, or political analysts say, that it's the opposition are wasting time. It's time that they're supposed to be looking for votes, but they are now working on structures. We have a year to the general election because we're already officially in the month of August. So we have a year to the next general election. So the clouds are gathering. That is given prominence katika gazeti la Taifa Leo. Vilevile wanazungumzia masuala ya afya, wanasema kwamba bima ya afya kwa watalii yapingwa mahakamani. Wadau wasema hitaji hilo litafungia wageni wengi nje. That is on matters health. Tuju stories also given prominence. Wanasema kwamba Tuju azidiwa na masaibu. Vilevile wanazungumzia masuala ya kisiasa pia. Wanasema Kaguchia atetewa na upinzani. Mbunge huyo wa Mukurweini alikamatwa jana kufuatia matamshi yake tata. So that is something that we shall also be talking about deeply later on this coverage, as we shall be talking of the state of the nation. Financial Standard, they're talking of court fight reopens. Kenya's history of boardroom wars. That is given prominence on Financial Standard. And MyGov, they're talking of major projects turn cost into investment hub. That is on MyGov. It's a pullout on the Star. So if you want to get MyGov, it's a pullout. You get the Star, and then it's a pullout where it has government tenders and jobs opportunities. And remember, it's a Tuesday, so the Star is free. You can get that for free. The People Daily, they're talking of predictions of counties that will determine the president in the next election. They're saying that 10 counties that will decide Kenya's next president. They have given the counties there. Key counties include Nairobi with above 2 million votes, Kiambu above 2 million votes, Nakuru 1.9 million votes, Meru around 900,000 votes, Kakamega the same, Machakos with about 700,000 votes, Bungoma with about 738,000 votes, Kisii the same, Mombasa the same, and finally Murang'a among the top 10. Those are counties with more than 600,000 votes that registered voters, let's not say votes because maybe not all of them will be voting, registered voters. So they are counted among the elephants in the room that hold a bigger say when it comes to the 2027 general election, saying 10 counties that will decide Kenya's next president. There is a rumor going around that Luos don't vote, and right now that Baba is normal, it will take a very great effort to get them to voting stations. So I don't know how that will happen for the broad-based government, because they're saying that sasa the whole Nyanza is for President William Ruto. But we'll get to have more of that later on as we talk about the state of the nation. That is the newspapers that you're having this morning. Of course, majirani wetu kule Tanzania, gazeti la Mwananchi wanasema kwamba Samia ataka sekta binafsi iwe bunifu. Vilevile wanasema kwamba safari ya mama aliyepambana na uhai wake ICU kwa siku 339. Vilevile wanasema kwamba sukari ya dimika Zanzibar yauzwa kwa kificho wa shilingi 5,000. That is Tanzanian shillings. Shilingi 5,000, 5,000 kwa kilo. That is in Tanzania matters economy. That is what you're having in from our neighbors. Vilevile gazeti la The Citizen wanasema kwamba 1 trillion dream gets 24 pledges. Those are stories that you can follow up on our foreigners. Those are the newspapers of Tanzania. Finally, I forgot to mention, sorry, we have the Bold newspaper. They're talking also of the Grand Coalition, something that I've also mentioned. We have the Daily Nation. They're talking of Shah Mystery Farm paid 1.2 billion. We mentioned the same, and Maswala ya Azimio, so still the same things that we mentioned, but that is what we have with the newspapers this morning. Right now, we'll take a look at news updates.